Clock is ticking to change from diesel to electric school buses. But that begs the question, what will it take to transition all the school buses in New York State to electric? Well, for starters, a lot of money and a lot of upgrades to the electric infrastructure. News 10 NBC investigative reporter Jennifer Lukey spoke with RG&E about how it's preparing for the task.
New York State is mandating that school districts stop buying diesel buses by 2027 and stop using diesel buses by 2035. That's a pretty lofty goal considering most of our local districts don't have any electric buses. Gates-Chili has the most, and it's 5 out of its fleet of 80. The big concern among school districts is the cost of the transition. The average diesel bus costs about $130,000. The average electric school bus is upwards of $400,000. Gates-Chili was one of the first in the state to be awarded grants through NYSERDA to offset the cost. But there's not enough of that money to go around for a full transition to electric for every district in the state. And even if there was, can our power infrastructure handle it? I spoke with a woman tasked with helping RG&E meet the state's lofty goals on electrification.
As they say, sort of in the kid world, it takes a village. And in this scenario, that's also the case. It's going to take a lot of different programs and resources and partners to help the school districts transition through.
What kind of infrastructure upgrades will most of these districts need?
So it really depends on the district. It depends on where they're located, what the existing capacity is at their location, and what their transition plan is going to look like. Most of these school districts are going to be able to get started today with piloting and starting with 1 or 2 buses.
1 or 2? What about a full fleet?
So do you foresee sort of like substations at each of these school districts depending on their size, or what does that look like for you all and what you'll have to do?
And yes, we are building more capacity. We don't know if it's going to look like a substation at every school district site. I think that we're working through that.
Do you all as a company and then through ratepayers absorb that cost of expanding the network, or do you sort of charge the school district for adding the infrastructure?
So it really depends on a case-by-case basis. It depends on what capacity is there, who else is in need of capacity. We're also working with our state to try to figure this out. There may be changes into, how and who is going to pay for what.
Do the timelines that the state laid out seem realistic to you at this point, knowing how much of the infrastructure has to be upgraded to actually handle it?
That's really a question for school districts in the states. We are here to provide the infrastructure that they're going to need in a timely manner. I think getting in touch with us and communicating what their plans are will help them make to that transition.
NYSERDA will cover the cost for a school district to do what it calls an electrification study. That's when engineers look at the bus routes, the buses, what kind of power infrastructure is here, and they make a plan to transition to electric. So far, NYSERDA says only about half of the districts in the state have started that process. In Gates, Jennifer Lukey, News 10 NBC.